Welcome, GeoTrig. This is 10-4, Perimeters and Areas of Similar Figures. The essential question is, how can you use ratios to compare the perimeters and areas of similar figures? Let's begin. So, the perimeters and areas of similar figures. This is what you need to know. If the scale factor of two similar figures is a divided by b, then the ratio of the perimeters is a divided by b, and the ratio of their areas is a squared divided by b squared. So perimeter is a over b, the area is a squared over b squared. What does that mean? Well, let's look at a few examples. So I got two similar trapezoids. I have two questions. What is the ratio of the perimeters? This is small, and this is the large one. So the ratio of the perimeters, we know that this small side right here is 6 over 9. So we could say the ratio is 6 over 9, which reduces to 2/3. So that's the ratio of the perimeters, 2/3. Ratio of their areas, well, it's going to be 2 squared over 3 squared. So it'll be 4/9. And that's the ratio of the areas. Simple enough. Let's look at these two. So these are similar pentagons. The area of this smaller pentagon equals 27.5 centimeters squared. What is the area of the larger pentagon to the nearest tenth? Well, to figure that out, we gotta do a few things. We gotta figure out their ratio. So the ratio from the small to the large is 4 over 10, which is going to be 2/5. And that means the ratio of the areas, the common ratio, that's, what is it called again? The ratio of the areas is going to be 2 squared over 5 squared, which will be 4/25. So we can create a formula for this. The area over the small one, 27.5, over the area of the big one, we'll just call that x for now, is got to be equivalent to 4 over 25. So we got to do some math here. So I'm going to rewrite this, and I'm going to multiply both sides by, let's see, x on both sides. So I'm going to get 27.5 and equals 4 over 25x. And then multiply both sides by 25/4. So you're going to get 25 times 27.5 over 4 equals x. And then this is where you got to pull out your calculator. And if you pull out your calculator here, I'm going to do it up here on my own. 25 times 27.5 divided by 4. And I'm going to get x is approximately equal to 171.9 centimeters squared. So that is my area to the nearest tenth. Alright, these triangles are similar. What's the scale factor? So I'm telling you the areas, and the area of let's see, we call this the ratio of the areas is going to be 50 over 98. That's the ratio of the areas, which reduces, you can divide both those by 2, so it's going to be 25 over 49. I can write 25 over 49 as 5 squared over 7 squared. So if that's the ratio of their areas, that means the scale factor, which is the ratio of their sides, is going to be 5 over 7, because you square root the top and square root the bottom. So 5/7. Alright, try some examples. Pause the video. Okay, scale factor of two similar parallelograms is 3/4. The area of the larger parallelogram is 96 inches squared. What is the area of the smaller parallelogram? So if our scale factor is 3/4, the area is going to be 3 squared over 4 squared. It's going to be 9/16. Alright, so we can create a formula. 9/16. It's got to equal the area of the larger one is going to be 96. And the area of the smaller one, I'll just call x. So there's our equation. I just got to solve for x. So I'm going to multiply by 96 on each side. Get 9 times 96 over 16 equals x. And if I do that with a calculator, 9 times 96 divided by 16, I am going to get x equals 54. 54 square inches. Next one. Pause the video. Alright, the area of two similar rectangles is 1875 feet squared and 135 feet squared. What is the ratio of the perimeters? So I got to find what's called the scale factor again. So I'm going to do big one over small one. 1875 divided by 135. First thing I want to do is try to reduce those. So they're both divisible by 5. So I'm going to divide the top and bottom by 5. I don't know the answer. I'm just kind of working this out here. So if you divide the top by 5, you're going to get, let's see, that's going to be 3. I'm doing it on a calculator. 1875 divided by 5 is going to be 375, and 135 divided by 5 is going to be 27. Sweet. Okay, but we can go even deeper, because you can divide both those by 3. So if you did that, 375 divided by 3 is going to get 125, and 27 divided by 3 is going to be 9. Alright, so 125 over 9. Now, what is the ratio of their perimeters? Well, that's the ratio, that's the areas. I got to square root the top and square root the bottom here. So the square root of the bottom is going to be 3, and the square root of the top, well, I'm going to reduce that. 125, it divides by 5, 25, and 5 and 5, so it's going to be 5 radical 3. And you know what? I can just leave it right there. That's my ratio of their perimeters, 5 radical 3 over 3. That's a good answer. That's it. Oh, hit the wrong button.